What's going on, everyone? In this video, I want to talk about the truth about trading that has nothing to do with the charts. Okay, we're going to go over some charts, but it really has nothing to do with the charts. It's a little bit more of what is wrong with you as a trader. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm any better than any one trader. I'm just as bad some days as someone who just started trading yesterday. But over the 13 years of experience in screen time, in wins and losses, I've learned some things along the way that have helped me be a little bit better to where I'm able to not be so stressed out, to where I'm able to extract money from the markets. I'm able to identify when I'm having a little bit of a hiccup and when I should put my foot to the gas. So, one thing that I think traders are not being informed about, or are being very misinformed about, is that you hear it all the time: patience, discipline, right? Nobody really wants to hear it. Okay, nobody wants to really hear that, and I get it, right? I understand. Like, we with the society that we live in, everything is very fast paced. If you want to know something, you want to get something accomplished, you can just go to the palm of your hand. You can ask Google or Chat GPT anything you want. You're going to get that answer in a split millisecond. Down to, if you're hungry, you can go to your phone. You can order something. It'll be there in 15-20 minutes. You need to get somewhere. You can definitely, you know, order a pickup, like a car to come pick you up. Uber will do that for you. So we're in a very fast paced style of society right now. And I think it's caused a lot of problems on people because we want fast results. Another thing that a lot of people don't really touch on is there's a lot of influencers, I guess we should say, or educators or mentors or teachers. And a lot of the messaging that is being spread across of social media and YouTube, which I think we all kind of understand, but we really don't believe it a lot of the times, is that everything can be done right away. And truth be told, it takes a really long time to kind of pick up this game and to understand it in a way to where you can use it as a tool to help your daily life, meaning substituting income, or supplementing your retirement or whatever, right? And a lot of times what you are not being told is that learning the right strategy, learning the right model, learning the right session to trade, learning the right stop loss, the right R to R, is not necessarily what's holding you back. Being undercapitalized is not what's holding you back. Those are not the things why you're losing. A lot of people like to blame the markets, or the way that the price action is, or the choppiness of it, or Jerome Powell said this, or if we just cut interest rates, the market will do this, or if Trump ends the tariff war, things will happen. So you're always kind of looking for those excuses, but when you really deep dive into it, are you looking for the solution to the problem, or are you just making excuses, right? Because the market has been here long before you were here, okay? And the market's going to continue to be here long after you are here. And there's going to be traders that are going to come into this market today, they're going to leave tomorrow, they're going to come into this market today, they're going to leave next year. And there's traders who have been in this market longer than you have been alive, right? Depending on how old you are. Or there's traders that have been doing this longer than you've even thought about utilizing this industry as a way or means to make money, right? Because a lot of what is being perceived on the internet is basically, well, if you trade like me, if you have 20 funded accounts and you utilize all of these prop firms and you just do this, you're going to make 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month. Now, am I saying that it's impossible to do that? Absolutely not. There's traders, there's influencers, there's educators who do that, but there's also a back door to that, okay? And the back door to that is how much money is being invested. And I can be fully transparent here and say, what some of my numbers are. Now, for the month of June, I was able to extract $8,200 from 3 different prop firms. It was mainly 2, but I do trade with 3 different prop firms. However, There's a big however. I invested around $2,100 to obtain that $8,200. So I'm net positive, let's call it $6,000. Okay, so $6,000. If you multiply that over the span of a year, that means that if I remain consistent at just those numbers, at just that small sample size, you're looking at around $72,000 a year. Now, $72,000 a year is not retirement money, but it can be great additional income. I also trade options on a personal account. I also swing trade shares, and I also have a long-term portfolio where I do longer swing trades, 6 months at a time, 9 months at a time, 3 months at a time. I like to do them in 3 months at a time. So I have other income that comes in. So when you take a $6,000, let's call it paycheck from prop firms, and you have other additional sources of income, whether that be a 9 to 5, whether that be retirement, whether that be Social Security, whether that be whatever other income, a side hustle income that you live off of, whatever it is, now you're starting to get upwards to where you can live a comfortable life. And what's perceived on the internet is that, well, if you just follow this indicator, if you just use my 20 SMA strategy and you just do XYZ, you can do this across 30, 40 accounts and make $20, $30, $40,000 a month. You can, but there's going to be levels of consistency that are not going to be there on a month-to-month basis, just due to the fact that market conditions change. So some months your strategies are going to work really, really well. Okay. Other months you're going to be flat. And you might have a month throughout the year where you do end up finishing red. But the what's not being explained or misinterpreted is that the average person thinks that, well, if this person is doing it and they're making money, why can't I just do that every single day for the next 12 months and make $1 million? And it's not that easy because things do change. So you always are adjusting. It's like, I don't know if anyone has ever done a sales job before or had a sales job before, but I have a sales background. Outside of the internet, I've sold cars. I sold real estate for a little bit. I've had another business outside of this industry where it was a direct to consumer and a B2B business as well, where we pushed inventory to the market, right? So I have an understanding of sales, and with sales, your commission or the sales numbers, it fluctuates. Some months you have some really good months, some months are kind of your average, and then you have some months that are a little bit down, but it's always up and down, right? Trading is the same way. Trading income is the same way. Some months are going to be really, really great. Like someone could have a $30,000-$40,000 month. Next month could be a $10,000 month. But what's your average, right? How much money do you need to invest into this business to keep an average? What do you need to do to keep that average? And when those good months come, you ride that wave and you keep going. So the big thing that I feel no one is really willing to come out and say is that sometimes it takes a little bit more money and more time than you think is possible. So it's not just about, well, I bought 5 evaluations or 5 combines or challenges, whatever the prop firm calls it. I bought 5 of them and I got 4 of them funded, right? So now if I'm able to take out $2,000 a month from, let's say, these 4 accounts, well, that's an $8,000 month. I can make $8,000 a month each and every single month. What you're not being told is, what are you doing to sustain those 4 accounts? Are you working to actively grow the portfolio bigger than 4 accounts? Or are you just willing to settle for the 4 accounts? What happens if 3 of the accounts make it this month and 1 of those accounts gets blown up and dies? Then that means now you can't make $8,000 a month. You can only make $6,000 a month. What are you doing to have that replacement ready to go? Do you have the capital to buy more evaluations and to pay for more activation fees so you can make it a very seamless process? Because again, I lose funded accounts every single month. Like I lose between 1 and 2 a month based on, sometimes it's due to the fact where I take payouts and the balance is really, really small. And I run into a string of bad days, or maybe I have a tilt day and that account just poof, it's gone. We've all been there, right? And there's other days where the bug gets me, right? Where I come into the market and the first trade of the day looks really, really well. I'm following my rules and I take that trade on more size than I should. And boom, the trade's gone, right? And you're kind of just stuck deer in headlights. But where most traders go wrong is they think that I did so well for 2 or 3 weeks. I did so well for a week. How can this still happen to me? I'm here to tell you, my friends, it's going to happen to you forever. Now, how you manage it is going to be different the more experience you have. So the more experience you have is, let's say, for example, you're trading a personal account and you have $100,000 in your personal account and you go on tilt. Well, you're not going to blow the $100,000 because then you're out of a job. You don't have any money to trade. But your blow up day might be $2,000 or $3,000, right? You're going to know, I'm going to catch myself, I'm going to nip that problem in the butt, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to slowly build back up until I get that money back, doing it the right and safe way. And then I'm going to, gradually increase my size from there once I get back to all square. But with the prop firms, it's different. It's, you buy an account for X amount of dollars, you pay an activation fee, you get into a funded account. If you lose it, okay, well, what are you down? $100, $150. So people just constantly get into this spin cycle thinking that once they understand the markets in a specific way, that everything becomes easy. And it doesn't. This is a business that you're building. And it's not just a business of trading. It's a business of money management. It's a business of managing your emotions. It's a business of managing your bottom line. So if it takes you $1,000 to, let's say, get 5 funded accounts, right? I'm just saying you lose a couple along the way, you pass some, you pay activation fees, so forth. Let's say it takes you $1,000. And out of that $1,000 investment, you're able to extract $2,000 or $3,000 a month. That's really, really good money. But a lot of people are under the idea that, well, if I just get, X amount of accounts and X amount of payouts, I'm going to make $20,000 or $30,000. But meanwhile, you only really invested $1,000 into this. And you're talking about making a 10x return on your money. You're talking about making a 15x return on your money, a 20x return on your money. Now, is it possible? Yes. There people who are taking money out of these prop firms, $100,000 a month, $50,000 a month, $1 million a year? Absolutely. But they're not just investing $1,000. It's a lot more than that, and I can't speak for anyone else. I can only speak for my own numbers. But even for the small numbers that I have of being able to take out $8,200 in the month of June, cost me about $2,100, right? So you're gonna have to understand and find your middle ground on what it takes to start breaking into the profit. And what that does to you is it allows you to focus more on the overall plan than to sitting here just glued to the screen. How can I make $500 today? How can I make 1,000? Market's going up. I need to take this trade. I need to do this trade. I need to do that. So these are some of the things that we talk about inside of Evolution Traders. I schedule one-on-one mentorship calls. I have trade plans and playbooks that you can go through based on how much you want to take from these prop firms or the market, and how you can build it, incorporate it into what meets your financial goals and your financial budget. We also do live trading multiple days a week. We also go over levels intraday where we're looking at specific setups. If you're interested in joining right now, I'm offering it for 50% off to the next 2 traders who decide to sign up. That link is down in the description box below. We can get more in depth, but I just want to kind of bring something to light, and I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys, because sometimes we tend to get caught up in, well, this person trades this strategy or this way. If I just learn how to do it that way, I can duplicate those numbers that they're doing. But a lot of times we don't really know on the back end how much they're actually investing. Now, I'm not saying that they're investing $50,000 and they only made 20. It's possible, but I'm saying that they could have invested, let's say, I'll just give you a general number. They could have invested $10,000 this month to make $22,000, which to me, that's a fantastic ROI. Okay, that return on investment is amazing. If I know that I can put in 10,000, take out 21, 22,000, and I can keep on doing and working that process, the numbers are infinite. We can scale, and we can scale fast. You have to maybe break it down. If you're not taking payouts on a consistent basis, you have to break it down into something that meets your financial budget. Maybe you're investing $500 a month to take out $1,200. That's fine. Now we just need to scale it. Okay, keep it simple, scale the same model. I hope that makes sense. I'll see all of you guys on the inside who decide to join. Make sure to give me a thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.